Hello guys, welcome to my channel, Mr. Jefferson 105. On today's video, I'll bring you a new kit that we're gonna assemble, and this one is a game. So it has a Tetris, a snake, an obstacle game, and something that looks like the Space Invaders. Icstation sent it to me, so we're gonna assemble it, see how it works, and then we're gonna play the games, and I hope you enjoy it. So guys, here are all the components that we're gonna need to build the game. So we have I'll move this to one side and we'll do one by one. We have the matrix display of LEDs. We have a capacitor, a switch for the powering on or off the system. We have a 7-second display to show your score. We also have several switches with big, you can see. So we have 2, 4, 6 of those. We also have some screws to hold the PCB later on, or maybe to make some sort of feet for the PCB. So there's some of the screws that we got. We have the IC socket for the IC, for the brain of that controls all the games. So that's very useful. USB wire. We also have the USB female, so we can power the whole system by using a power bank or your laptop. We have the brains of the game, which is the IC that you can see here, and then we have the board. So guys, now we've done most of the soldering. Pretty much is finished now. I didn't want to bore you with so much soldering, so now I'm going to talk about the good things, the bad things, and what can be improved. So I have the board here with me. The overall assembly of it was actually straightforward. I didn't even have to use the website that they provided, but even though, I'm going to show you here a quick picture of where you can get all the information if you didn't find enough information on this tutorial. Furthermore, I think the crucial thing to be careful of when building this kit is that the switch, the LEDs, matrices, and the 7-segment display have a polarity. Even the buzzer has a polarity, and you'll see that at the top it has a plus. So you need to be careful when soldering them, because if you don't solder them properly, it's gonna break and it's just not gonna work. So that's one of the things that I will have to stress a lot. Be careful with polarity. Also, another one, I think the hardest bit to solder in this kit, it will be the USB, because of the small pins and how close together they are on the back of the board. I think that's probably the hardest bit to solder. The rest of it was pretty simple. All you had to do is use lots of flux in every pad, and as you saw on the previous video, it was just flowing. I wasn't really doing much effort or putting too much effort into doing all the soldering. It just flowed, so that was quite easy to do. The other thing is some of the legs, you'll find that the capacitor legs need to be trimmed. The 7-segment display as well need to be trimmed because they're slightly long. I haven't trimmed mine yet, but I will do that later on. I think we're gonna go now. I'm gonna show you what games, what sort of stuff we have available on this kit, which is quite cool actually. I find it fascinating. I really enjoy, and some of the sounds are really cool as well. So I'll show you that now, and I hope you enjoyed these guys. So we'll see you in the next bit. Okay, so now we are gonna have a look at the games. So this is the PCB, as we saw before. This is just a power bank that I made, and there's a little light. We have the USB that came with the toy. So what we do is just connect it into the female, then this connector, the USB, will go into the power pack. Flick the switch, that's on. If it's off, we have the on and off switch here, and this is one of the sounds. I'm gonna reduce the brightness of my camera. There you go, so now you can see much better all the LEDs. So all I'll use is, you can still see my fingers in there as well, so maybe a bit less, about there you go. So the first game is Tetris. So to accept the game or to play the game, you will press the bottom one. And then to move it around, you use the arrows to bring it down very fast. That, and then if you want to spin it, you press the bottom right button. And then you sort of, yeah. So that's Tetris. And then when you finish, you get that noise, and then you'll be given your score. So I'm gonna play again now for real, and then see how good or how well I can do. My record on this game is not great, but I think I was on 35 last time I did it. Some of the sounds are quite funny, but quite cool at the same time. And you can be as fast as you want really with it. Tetris has been with me since I was a little boy. I used to have an Atari machine, and I used to play lots of Tetris, Pac-Man. So these are games are so cool. And also last year university I did a module called Embedded Systems, so where we actually did have to build, well, we had to build a game from scratch, and some people were making the Tetris game, so they were coming up with the rules and everything, so that was quite fun. Yeah, so I think that gives you a nice idea of what the Tetris game is about. And then if we move to the next game, so now we're gonna have a look at, so that's my score, and it tells you here and it tells you here. So you can have 4 values. This will only tell you 3 values. The 7-segment display, whereas the whole matrix will tell you 4 values. To move to the next game, you press the button on the top right, so this one. So that's game 1 with the display of the game, which is Tetris. Second game is a snake. So to accept the game, we press the bottom right button. So as you can, as you heard there, the song is quite long for a snake. But it also is not such an easy game, because you have to, it's quite slow, but as you grow and you get bigger, it becomes really, really difficult. This was another game that some of the students were making. So there, I crashed into the wall there. So there you go, that's the same way as before. That's the score. If we want to go back, press the top, and it shows you the preview of the game of Snake. But I think the game I enjoyed the most is number 4. So well, I'll show you this number 3 now, so you can have a look what it is. So it's like a racing game. So accept the game. If you want to go faster, That sound will be constant, but you can switch it off later on if you want. So let me just play again. So what you do is just avoid, and you can press the button on the right hand side to go faster. So if I play again, as you can see, I'm not really good at it, but yeah, that's how that game works. So this is the one I enjoy the most because it looks like Space Invaders, and it's just one of them. This is my record is 565 or 60 something, so I might do that here, and then I can speed it up for you on the video. Let's see if I can beat it. So I'm close to 500. I'm gonna die. No, I died. So 497. There you go. That's my second record. I had 560 before. So, but well, that's where I get so at the moment. So now let's go on to the next thing. So number 5 is over numbers, but I'm not too sure what number 5 is really, because I've been trying to figure it out, but I don't get what it is. So you can change numbers, but I don't understand what else it does. So it shows me numbers and numbers here, so I don't know exactly what it does. And yeah, so let's just switch it back on. So we were on number 5, which is just numbers. Then this is like the menu of the whole console. So with this you can control the brightness of the LCD. As you can see, you can have it very low if you want it, or you can have it very high. I normally leave it as high, it doesn't really bother me. Then this is where you can control the speaker. As you can see, here is the speaker with the little lines, and you press that's off, that's on, and it makes a sound when it comes back on. And to select it, you use your button at the bottom right. So I like having it at the top. And let's play Tetris again. But yeah, this is all of it. So as you can see, it's very fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And then to switch it off, there, just unplug it and power back. And that's everything. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you very much to Icstation for sending the product. I have fun building it, I have fun showing it to people, and yeah, it's gonna be a little present for one of my siblings probably, because they enjoy playing games that I used to play when I was little. So thank you very much.